Hey, horror fans! Once again, it's the Horror Miser Money G, and tonight we're going to talk about last night's exciting, thrilling season finale of American Horror Story Cult. So we begin. What's this? Kai. He's in prison garbs. He's in jail. Well, it shouldn't be surprising. He did murder a whole bunch of people with his cult. But we see Kai. He is actually in prison and he's talking to a one of the security officers doing his pinky swear thing, and the guard's going about stuff that she doesn't like when he all of a sudden is jumped by two Aryan brothers who are about to beat the crap out of him until one of them actually stabs the other right in the back of his head. He never saw it coming, but it turns out that this guy is one of Kai's followers. Seems like Kai can manipulate people in prison as well. He convinces the guy to off himself by taking the same knife and he stabs him to death. And next thing you know, Kai sees Charles Manson and he actually calls him Chuck. So Kai's really going off at the deep end and he says, we got to get ready to go because we got a huge body count to mount. Oh, cue the opening credits. So, how did Kai get into prison? And obviously, he's also doing the same thing what he's doing here. He's got a whole bunch of followers. And we get a flashback 11 months ago. Obviously, he's been in jail for 11 months. We get a flashback to 11 months ago where Kai and his misogynistic army of idiot men, or women-hating men, who are about to commit what is called the 1,000 Nights of Tay. But unfortunately, they can't do 1,000 nights, being that it's too difficult to kill 1,000 pregnant women in one night. So 100 will do. So he's trying to do that, and at the same time, he can't find Speedwagon. When we also find out what happened to Speedwagon, because remember in last week's episode, it was Speedwagon who was the informant, not Winter, his sister, that he unfortunately strangled to death, thinking that it was her. We see Allie get into the car with Speedwagon, and we find out that Speedwagon is not working for the FBI, he's working for the state. They were actually trying to get dirt on the Senate Sanders guy. And that's what he was there for. But now all of a sudden he's worried that if Kai finds out he's going to kill him, he says, look what he's going to kill me. Look what he did to his own sister. But he is actually worried about Allie because Allie's the one that kills him by stabbing him right in the chest. Ooh, man, that's cold. So the following night, when Kai has all his troops ready to do the 100 Nights of Tay, and we see poor Beverly, she's so broken-hearted. She's about to have a nervous breakdown that she actually tells Allie to kill her. He says, "Look, I know I was the one that tried to make you go crazy. And if Kai would have told me to kill you, I probably would have killed you. You need to kill me." But Alice calmly says, "Please, if you can hold on for a few moments longer, everything's going to be fine." Well, we're about to find out in a few minutes because no sooner than Allie leaves, she goes into a van and it's the FBI. They're out in full force and they storm Kai's basement, shooting up everyone, killing some of the misogynistic nitwits. And Beverly actually shoots one before Kai is arrested, and everyone is put under arrest. And Kai shouts f-bombs, telling he's going to kill the crap out of Allie. He's going to make sure that she dies, and he's going to make Oz watch him die. And that is the end of Kai, or is it really? And what about Allie? What's left of her? Well, we're about to find out. Well, we jump ahead a few moments later, and Allie's now back in her restaurant, the sole owner of the restaurant now, and she's feeding a lot of people, and she's trying to put her life back together. We also see Beverly as they reconnect, and Beverly wants to know why she's free. Turns out that Allie told the cop that she was not an accomplice; she was more of a victim. A strong woman unfortunately fell into the influence of Kai and his cult, and she was more of a victim than an accomplice. So that's how Beverly is not in jail. And Allie just wants to move on. She wants to make a good life for her son, and he also has a new girlfriend now as well. And this is actually something pretty good. Meanwhile, Kai is getting his forces together because he knows that he needs to kill Allie, and he thinks the only way to do that is to have something grand, spectacular. That's when we find out that Allie decides to run for the same Senate seat that Kai wanted. So we have Allison Mayfield Richards that's on television announcing her Senate run, and I think that this is what she had planned all along. It's an interesting premise on the platform that she runs, which she calls an anti-cult platform, meaning that not only does she survive a cult, she admits her involvement with Kai and the cult, but she also calls the Democratic and Republican parties as nothing more than a cult as well. And we also find out that despite all the things that's in her favor, she's behind in the polls, and it's mainly because of her ties to Kai. If they could find a way to cut her ties with Kai, she would probably win in the landslide. And also, Kai finds out the best way to get her back is to kill her during the obviously some type of debate that she's going to have with the senator. After getting another one of his dopes to after he kills one of his dopes to try to fake his death, he eventually makes to the debate that Ali's having with the senator. He gets up on stage and does his misogynistic voice, blah blah blah. Women can't lead. Women can't do this. The only thing women can do is just go into the kitchen and make my sandwich. And he pulls the trigger, but nothing happens. Ali's just smiling. She says, F you, Kai. While Kai pulls the trigger, nothing happens. But what's this? There's that guard named Gloria. Well, it turns out that Gloria is not a follower of Kai, even though she did call him the Divine Master. She said, as we see in the scene earlier, that she was the one that got talked with Gloria to set Kai up. She said, all that Divine Master shit, it makes me want to puke. And before Kai can do anything else, BAM! He gets blown away by Beverly in probably one of the best revenge plots ever, as Beverly takes back her right and blows Kai away. R.I.P. Kai. So, of course, with that little stunt, Ali easily wins the election by 80% of the women vote, and she's now the new senator of this town, I think in Minnesota. I think I could be wrong. I have to recheck my notes here. And the last scene we see is her and Odds talking about, what's going to happening and what she's going to do. And listen to her words carefully. As she and Oz have a final moment together, she says, well, I've got to go out. I'm going to meet some women, some powerful women. We're going to get together. And the final scene, she sits putting on makeup on. She puts a little velvet hood on. And it looks like she's living Valerie Sonolis' dream of waging a woman war against men by making their own cult. Ooh. Cut. And that's how the show ended. And I was very pleased with that final scene right there, because you can tell that Allie really came out on top. It was a very interesting character turn to see her when the show began as a very timid, very woman who was controlled by her phobias. She couldn't maintain a good relationship with Allie or Ivy. She couldn't maintain a relationship with her. She couldn't be a good mother. Couldn't run the restaurant very well because she would allow her phobias to rule her. And how our character changed throughout the show was pretty fascinating. That she now has become a very strong and very well independent woman who will actually do anything to anybody whoever gets in their way. I love the Beverly character. So you got to give Sarah Paulson credit. Very good final scene right there. You have to get the whole cast credit. Adina Porter, very well played with Beverly. She was a very strong, very powerful woman. Wanted to make sure stake in the news, and to see her disintegrate because of what she was put through, to see her disintegrated to almost having a nervous breakdown that she wanted to have someone kill herself, and to be the one to kill Kai is actually poetic justice as far as I'm concerned, because she was Kai's right-hand man, and then and one little lie that Winter told him, he dissed her like the back of his hand. So it's poetic justice on my part right there. So of course, Evan Peters, hands on doubt, he really killed it as Kai, and all the other cult figures that he had. He played, whether it was Charles Manson, David Koresh, Jimmy, whatever, I forget his name. It'll come to me. Yeah. Jim Jones. Yeah, Jim Jones and Guyana. He played all those characters. He even played Jesus. So everybody else, this was a very fantastic season as far as I'm concerned, and I really enjoyed the season finales. One of the better season finales that I've seen. What you can saw fitting into a fantastic season. So, my horror fans, what do you think about last night's season finale? Did you think it was poetic justice what happened to Kai at the end? Do you agree? Do you think that? What do you think is going to happen with Ali now? Do you think that she's going to lead the cult and live out the dream that Valerie Sinonis wanted to have? Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about last night's season finale of American Horror Story. And that's it for this year's American Horror Story. This is by far their best season ever. Like I said before, I've enjoyed all of the stories American Horror Story has done. Some I like better than others, but this by far is their best season ever. And if I were to rank them, this would definitely be number one. I might do an in-depth analysis of this season. I don't know yet. It depends upon my schedule. I have other things I have planned up coming up soon. I'll let you. As a matter of fact, if you want me to do an in-depth discussion about American Horror Story Cult this season, leave your comments down in the comment section below. If I see if that's what you guys want me to do, then I'll do it. It's hey, look, I do this for you guys, because you guys really support me. And you really do love these recaps I do for American Horror Story. So if you want me to do an in-depth discussion about American Horror Story, then I'll do it. So leave your comments down in the comment section below. Well, that's my video for tonight. I'd like to thank you guys for watching as well because you guys are the best. And if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you can become part of the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And on Facebook, I'm part of a group called Killer Flicks, where we talk about horror all day long. And on Fridays, it's Free for All Fridays. And I'm pretty sure we'll be definitely talking about Justice League. As Justice League has will be hitting theaters this weekend. And I will, again, like I said, will have my thoughts on video for that this weekend as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules.